Hey everyone, it's Debbie Happy Cohen here with Joy-Based Living. I'm not feeling so joyful right now. I'm feeling more grief. My long-lost cousins who contacted me the other day really triggered a lot of the invisible nature of the abuse that we experienced growing up. This video is dedicated to the invisibles. If you have been consistently, chronically shamed over many years, if you grew up with that and nobody hit you, nobody physically harmed you in any way, but you felt sucked dry, I want you to know that you're not alone. To make it a little lighthearted, I thought about starting a 12-step program called Invisibles Anonymous, because that's what it's like. And the thing about it is that it's trying to keep my language clean here on YouTube. It's exhausting. It's exhausting because when you have to actually reject a parent or abandon a parent, not only is that excruciatingly painful, because who the freak wants to ever have to do that? But number two, you don't have a story to tell other people about how hard it was for you, because they just look at you like, what the hell are you complaining about? I know the pain can be really excruciating. And I know the feeling of aloneness that can come with it, and loneliness, especially if you have others in the family who are really playing right into denial, who are playing the orchestra of everything on the outside that the narcissistic abuser wants them to see. They are master manipulators. Don't underestimate how easy it is for others to just buy right in. It's like being kicked under the table and nobody at the table acknowledges that it's happening, except all of a sudden you keep wincing and then you look like you're the crazy one. I really like the movie Gaslight, and I was helping someone through that the other day, and one of the things that I had to heal from was blaming myself. Like, well, what could I have done to stop it? Why did I let it happen? It happened since I was a little baby. It happened since I was a little kid. It was like a familiar way of being in the world. And when I watched the movie Gaslight with my friend, and I saw what he's experiencing right now in some of the patterns of his relationships, I was like, oh my gosh, this was never his fault. And it took some of the blame that I felt toward myself off of my shoulders. One of the reasons I'm posting this video is because I'm tired of being the one who sees, who hears, who understands, who feels, who knows. You know, if you're the truth teller, you're going to be the one who gets slam dunked, slandered, shamed, scapegoated. That's how the game works. And I love truth. I don't always like it. It's not always pleasant, but I love truth, and I love relationships where truth is celebrated, even when it's not comfortable. Like, hey, thank you for sharing that with me. Well, you can't do that in a narcissistic household or in a narcissistic society. And the thing I stand for the most is having each of our lights shine really bright. Well, that is freaking impossible in an environment that doesn't feel safe. Safety is the ground where truth can be told. And it's in that ground that seeds can be planted for greatness to emerge. I created joy-based living so I could have a place where I could see people flourishing and encouraging each other to flourish and turning toward me and celebrating my flourishing. Because I did not have that in my family household. The denial runs deep and strong. And I'm tired of protecting the people who've been abusive. I guess this is my coming out video. And I'm not willing to settle for confusing, elusive, complicated conversations and communications just in order to protect people who are being abusive, and worse, protecting those who are keeping their abuse under wrap because they don't want to hurt them. They don't want to hurt the ones who are also suffering from the abuse, the ones in that circle who are in denial. Well, they're in denial because they've been traumatized. My biggest fear has been traumatizing other people by publishing this publicly. But I'm tired of being afraid of that. And if this can help other people who feel invisible to not feel invisible and to know that there is a way out and that there are people who actually love truth, who really love truth. And what I've noticed in leading joy-based living that has been really mind-blowing is that many people there have been through that trauma of having their joy stolen. Yes, it can be stolen. When you're a kid and you're shamed constantly every time you reach a certain level, you express truth or you express joy or you express contentment, and you are constantly put down for that over and over and over, and that becomes your norm, and then you learn to do that to yourself, that feels insane. What I want you to know is that you are not insane. I am not insane. That experience is insane. And we're living in a culture which supports people who are narcissistic, and that's why they get away with it. Instead of stigmatizing them or ostracizing them, we stay quiet. I don't want to be quiet anymore. I want to be true to my tribe, to the people who, when I am authentic, turn toward me and say, oh my gosh, thank you so much for being, for sharing, for existing. Your light matters to me. My light matters to me. The flourishing of our lights matters to me. Living with a narcissist is like entering a black hole that doesn't have oxygen. Your light will be snuffed out. If not now, then over time. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to let you know you're not alone. And that it feels really good to come out the other side and say, this wasn't my fault, and I'm not carrying the shame burden anymore. And because of my long-lost relatives who reached out to me, I feel even more clarity and more longing to be more of myself and give permission to others to be more of themselves. Because I think we need more people in the world who are celebrating truth and feeling joy around truth. It is no different than saying, you know, the baby's got a dirty diaper. That's just truth. Go clean it up. That's all this is. And anybody who's offended by this message has a problem. You need help. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for letting me know through your listening that I'm not alone. I appreciate everybody in my community, because what I did earlier today, after experiencing actually a few days of confusion and grief of what to do with that information that I received from my relatives and how to process that and all the triggers that came up, I was able to reach out to my people in my joy-based living tribe. And I don't think that you all need to join my joy-based living tribe. This isn't a sales pitch. I want you to have a community where you can be fully yourself. I want you to have a place where you can feel safe enough to let out everything that's inside of you, not rudely or abusively, but just here's what's going on with me. Not making anybody else responsible for healing you or fixing you, but just having a place to feel heard and validated. And what people who've been in our shoes need most in the healing process is validation, not just on the inside, on the outside, because it's been on the outside when so many people are gaslighted into looking at you like you're the one who's bad and evil and horrible for actually knowing the truth, speaking the truth, see no evil, speak no evil. Truth is not evil, people. Truth is not evil. Truth is a gateway to joy. And joy is the ground for creating flourishing. So you're not invisible to me. I've been there and I see you. And I hope that this story, my story, helps you. Find validation from people who care and people who are willing to say, I believe you. And if you can do that, and you can, you're going to go really far. You're going to get through this. You're going to get to the other side of this. Thank you.